Being black in America has never been easy, and being black at a PWI definitely has its challenges when it comes to feeling at home and comfortable in your environment. Since AudiblWav is black owned, and I myself attend a PWI, we figured putting together a video detailing the black experience at a PWI was perfect for this week. We interviewed 4 students to get their perspectives on how being black at a PWI has been for them, and we took it to Illinois State University to do so. How would you say being black at a PWI has impacted your college experience?
I say it makes me not like the music at parties as much as I maybe could have. And I don't like how I feel like it's hard to meet people who are like me. Yeah, people who are black. It's really hard to meet people who are black. There's no like dating apps for black friends, so I couldn't really figure that out. And I can't just stop every black person I see and say, hey, be my friend, we have so much in common. So it's just kind of weird to like, I still like my friends a lot, but there's just certain things they're just not gonna get.
I think being black, obviously, like you're definitely a minority for sure, and I think that when you are a minority, you have to like make more of a concerted effort to find more like-minded people like you. It doesn't maybe exactly have to be based off, of course, race or anything, because I've definitely like found my community here, of course. But it's definitely being a minority is more of a struggle for sure, and you do have to make a concerted effort. So you have to get out of your dorm room. You have to like go out and explore things and join clubs and like meet new people. But that's the whole college experience. That's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. Is kind of like expand your horizons.
Being black at a PWI, I wouldn't say it's been a bad experience. It definitely hasn't been a bad experience. Before coming to ISU, I attended SIUC, and there was a lot of black people there. It was very easy to find the people. I didn't feel like I necessarily had to look for people that I'm comfortable with. I enjoyed once I found my people, I was able to get all the experiences and be able to have fun. It didn't feel like it was a pressure type of thing, and not that I had to be connected with anybody just because we were black. It's I guess for me it's more of a natural thing. I don't feel like I'm ever at a place if I'm not with black people, and I never feel like I'm at a place if I'm only with black people.
It's impacted my college experience just from what I experience every day. My day-to-day routine, I feel like it's different as opposed to if I was at HBCU. I have classes where I may be the only black guy or the only person of color, and that's something I'm used to. I went to a predominantly all-white, all-boys high school, so the transition has been fairly similar to that, so it hasn't been too much of a difference. So the impact this had on me, it's just, I'm used to it at this point.
You say you have to make a little bit more of an effort. Would you say that you feel like you have to put another foot forward as opposed to, white students here just to find that peace of mind?
That's a good question, Marcus. I feel like in some situations, I feel I've had to be more assertive in things like I've like wanted to do. And I feel like maybe some of my counterparts maybe have, but that hasn't like stopped me from like doing what I've wanted to do so far at ISU. Like I've kind of like set out to do like most of the things I wanted to do here so far. Still some things I want to do, like I'm a senior, but the journey's not over yet. But yeah, I feel like when you're able to like nail down or like have a certain interest you're leaning towards, like, and you gravitate towards it and you trust it, you're gonna first find the right people around you, whether that's like a certain club, a certain group of people, friends, even like family, like certain groups. Like I've joined on campus, like I've definitely been able to like find different communities to like, I guess you can say, make my college experience more whole, but also live like a pretty well balanced like student like college life, I'd say. So it's all just about like being authentic to yourself, and then I think as long as I do that, and as long as I think other students do that, pieces will fall into place.
Would you say you feel connected or disconnected to Black culture at Illinois State, and why?
Well, more connected now than I did. Freshman and sophomore year, I was just kind of like this is just how it's gonna be. But this year, I've like visited the Multicultural Center a few times. That's been pretty cool, just to see all these people in one place doing like non-white things together. Post-pandemic, I really was like, I've gotta find a way to like meet some people who are not the same color. So
for me personally, I have to say pretty blankly, like I feel like I'm a little bit disconnected if you look at it like from black and white perspective, because I work at a place here on campus where, you know, of course we have different types of ethnicities of kids working there too, but it is like, it's a PWI, of course, so it's like mostly like white people I'm working with. And I feel like in that arena, definitely I can make more of an effort to like definitely reach out to like some like, you know, people who look like me, definitely too. I know I do have some friends, like of course like in fraternities and stuff like that, you know, it's spread around, but again, when you're at PWI, like I said kind of earlier, it kind of makes it that much harder though to like kind of find your group, not just your group of people who look like you, but also just your niche and like what your interests are, because you know everyone's not gonna like fit in the same, like, you know, you kind of have to be able to be bold enough to do your own thing, be independent for a while. Don't just like fall into a group just because you're looking for, you know, like some people to hang out with or like external validation. That might like contradict what I was saying before about, you know, getting out there and everything, but also like you gotta stay true to yourself at the same time, because a lot of people on campus, a lot of people can influence you. So yeah,
it's definitely all about that authenticity. And personally, for me, attending a PWI, like you said, I've had to like take those steps and be like, okay, like, am I doing this for validation or am I doing this to be true to me?
Right.
And it's definitely, it's a learning process for sure, but you find your way.
And then there's also the other avenue as well, is, you know, you're here for your career overall. Like, so like, what are you gonna do? Like, when it comes to like being in an RSO or even classes you're taking, like what's that going to help you do to get on their career trajectory, which is like what we're here for in the first place. So that's also like another thing that like can influence, like, I don't know, I guess your decision making when it comes to that.
As a transfer, I would say a little bit disconnected, because I don't really know many of the, I know there's the Black Young Men, and I'm a part of the Black Girl Code Club. I haven't done nothing with them yet. But I know that there are resources here. I guess for me, trying to figure out where they are, I guess I'm not able to find it. So I don't know. If it's not in my face, I'm not gonna go look for it, even though I know it's there. And that's probably just a me thing. Like, if I really wanted to, I can definitely find out and ask around. But that's my experience so far. And I definitely would like to be a part of and get to know some people with the rest of my time being here.
I will say I feel connected. There's a small population of the Black community here, but I believe we are tight-knit. You know, there's a lot of group chats where strictly only for the people of color at Illinois State, and it makes me feel connected to my community. I hang out with a lot of friends that are the same color as me. I go out with a lot of the same people that have the same color as me. And I think the group that we have here at Illinois State is very tight-knit, and I'm connected to them fairly well, I think.
What do you like about being at Illinois State?
Oh, man. I like Illinois State because the people who I've worked with, like in the community, and friends I've made, you know, they've all been like really kind, really nice to me. Like, I definitely have some people I've met here I'd consider like really close friends. And definitely what I've liked about ICU the most is just like the learning experiences I've had from being a freshman, like just being a little punk, like living in the dorms, just like, yo, messing around, having like no sense of like responsibility or, you know, like, I don't know, just you're scot-free for the first time. You're 18 years old, and like through the years now since I'm a senior, you like learn like, you know, being independent, like, I guess like how you like kind of maneuver, like how you move different and everything like that. And that's what I like about ISU is like the something about the campus and like the people here, like there's no like rush. Is you have time and you have room to grow. And as long as you're willing to like grow and like trust the process, and you know, be willing to reach out like for resources on campus, or like joining RSOs, like you'll like find your thing. And definitely like the people for me have been like the biggest impact like I've had so far.
All the people here are generally nice, I think, and if not, I'm not sweating it. And I feel like people are open to certain ideas that other places they probably aren't. But yeah, that's what I like. I just feel like people are nice and open here, and we have a lot of common grounds of us being disgruntled about certain things. Like no one here is like and overly happy to be here type vibe, which I really like, to just go all in on like pessimistic stuff sometimes. And so everyone here is kind of that kind of vibe.
The different opportunities that I've had pertaining to my major. I'm a journalism major trying to be a sports broadcaster, and I feel like I have had tons of opportunities to broaden my knowledge on this field and to gain as much experience as I can with WZND, the radio station being one of them. I also am starting different avenues of journalism and sports broadcasting, TV broadcasting, such as TV 10, like I said, WZND, and hopefully, you know, we're going to expand on that in the future.
I'm going to be so honest. The time being here has not been great. It's not been great. And not like campus-wise, like, you know, even though I'm not in the major that I'm supposed to be in, or taking the classes that I initially thought were going to be for me. Just like my living-wise has not been the best. And I hate it because, you know, before coming here, I was able to get in, and I'm like, oh, okay, they got my major, they got my focus. You know, I took the semester off earlier this year, so I was like, you know, I'm going to go back to school and just, it's going to be good. Get here, and I'm like, okay, we're trying. And then it was a roommate situation that's been happening. Had to deal with that. So even in my living quarters, like I'm not comfortable. I don't feel fully safe, honestly.
And why would you say that?
I would say that because I guess, okay, when there's somebody that responds to a certain issue differently than the other person, it's like, and then you don't know them on top of that, it just makes things feel, it's very tense.
Yeah.
And when you feel that tension, it makes you very anxious. And it's like, okay, how am I gonna go about this? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, letting people that are supposed to help you know about it, you know, and then nothing really being done, that just builds onto that anxiousness. So it's like, okay, I've let you know about this situation, I've let you know this has been going on, and you're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna, and never do.
Yeah.
That just for me specifically, that just makes me feel just not comfortable, and I hate it because I'm like, it's hard to focus, it's hard to just study or just relax in the space that I'm supposed to be living in. And then on top of that, I have to come to class and try to like still adjust. Like I'm still trying to adjust, and I think, and nothing is wrong with that, but it's still with my living situation and then school, it's just hard to feel at peace, and I don't like that because
yeah, I mean,
you know,
yeah, definitely. I feel like at home, that's the one place you want to feel peace.
Yeah,
like, that's where you want to decompress and really just get away from all the issues.
Right, and it's like I have to, you know, make sure, okay, this is due, I gotta do this, gotta meet with this person to get my schoolwork done. Then have to go back to where I live and be like, okay, is the door locked? Is food still out that shouldn't be? Did the garbage get taken out? Are there bugs because she didn't take the garbage out? is things not in the right place because she had people over? Like, you know, stuff like that, when it's like, I'm not trying to run nobody or rule anybody, but it's like, if you live with someone else, not to say shady, but I know I was raised to be respectful and considerate and to know your boundaries. And I guess when you're with someone that purposely oversteps those boundaries, it almost feels like it's a test.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
And it makes you uncomfortable because it's like, okay, if I react how I feel, you're the bad person.
Yeah.
But then reacting in a way to not cause more problems that also eats you up inside. So yeah.
Do you believe that there needs to be more resources or safe spaces for Black students in particular?
Yeah, I do think there needs to be, actually, and I feel like sometimes on parts of the campus it's a big campus, it's not huge, but like it's not a small campus either, and I feel like sometimes we're all like a little bit segregated. You know, of course we have our own Black fraternities and of course RSOs as well. A lot of us, you know, some of us, you know, independents, you know, just going about this chill, but I definitely think, more of a bigger, like, wider community could definitely be needed. And I definitely know on my part, I could be doing a better part of that too, because I definitely feel like there's probably a community out there, like here at ISU, I probably don't even know of, that I could probably join and, like, you know, meet some really awesome people and everything like that. So I feel like that's definitely needed more on the ISU campus, but whether it's driven by the university or by the students, that's another question. I think personally it should be driven by the students.
I think there should definitely be more resources because when there's not, it leaves people feeling weird about themselves culturally, feeling weird about themselves in so many ways. Like, you might not think you're normal or like attractive enough just because you're around like white people or like people who aren't like you, for like not forcing, but like just like being around people will make you kind of like conform to their interests or at least have a little bit of that. And so if there were more resources, people like Black people could be themselves more. I don't know if that's just me or not, but like it's easier to be like, here's everything when people are like really like you. You know how when you're a freshman and they give you like all this stuff to do, but it's like they're telling you to start like your own athletic thing. Instead of telling me to start a dodgeball team, maybe to tell me like about BSU earlier or about organizations that could help people.
That are like geared towards Black culture?
Yeah, instead of like telling me like how to start my own RSO for like athletics or like giving me candy when I get here.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
I like candy a lot, kind of too much, but like I would like to know important things from time to time about, you know, Black stuff.
I feel like there can be a bit more. I know in the process of me transferring here, I actually was able to meet with some of the staff and alumni over that were Black and everything. It was like a transfer thing for Black students, and that was the only time I've heard or seen them ever again, you know, coming here. So I feel like it would be nice to know that, hey, these are some people that, you know, wanted to meet with me in the beginning, and then they continually want to keep, like, not have to check on you, but hey, this club is doing this is, you know, oh, this is what your major list, you know, something that will, and then even not with just resources on campus and different clubs, but also like opportunities like for scholarships or internships. I wouldn't know because, and not saying that it's them that has to fully do that because I can do that myself, but as a transfer or just as a student in general, just to know that there's someone else there that can, you know, push you along or be like, hey, you know, this is here too, and I know that this could apply to you as a Black student, as a Black transfer student and everything. So, it, you know, there could be a little, you know, more effort, but.
So would you say that Black staff kind of needs to be more open and consistent?
I agree with that, but then it's like, it's hard to even find them on the website too. So I wouldn't say that it's fully their fault. I would say, hey, y'all have this school have Black staff. it's hard to even find them within the different resources that are provided. So I would say that's just the school's thing that they would have to do. And then, like I said, it's not always on the school, not always to put the blame on someone else, but if I really wanted to, or if anybody really wanted to, they would fully reach out. But just like other things are very accessible, I feel like that should also be accessible too, a little bit better.
The university can only do so much within their structured, I guess you can say, options. I guess you can say like they can only do so much within certain boundaries. And it has to be formal, right? You know, with students leading it, it can be informal. It can be really what a safe space is meant to be for minorities as well, which is like a close-knit community of people who you can rely on, trust on, go to their houses, at 2 a.m., like chill back, talk and everything, and like, really get into things. So yeah, community doesn't always have to be like, oh, we got a meeting going on at Schrader Halls at 7 p.m. tonight. Community can just be some people you just like invite over, chill, talk, hang out, and that's more of a community than anything. It's just the people around you.
You can never have enough. I think Illinois State has done a good job with the Multicultural Center, but I would love to see more resources to people of color, African Americans, because the time that we live in, we need them more now. And I feel like a lot of African American young people don't get a chance to express themselves fully. They keep a lot of things in and don't share how they're feeling really the best, because we don't have the resources to. If we gain the resources to do all of that, I feel like that will make a big change in our African American community here on Illinois State for sure.
Yeah, I definitely love the use of the word community and how you break it down to more so just being like tight knit with the people around you rather than something that's really driven by like meetings and clubs and all that, because like clubs are nice and everything, but that sense of community is what's really going to build that safe space.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also important that it's not treated as an obligation on the part of the university, where it's something that we want to do as students and we want to advocate for. Definitely, I think that's important.
And on that same note, what resources in particular do you think that Black students need here?
Specified groups, counseling services dedicated strictly towards African American youth and the struggles that we deal with that maybe other people won't ever experience ever in their life. Just awareness of what we're going through and what we, the prejudice that we intake on a daily basis. We need all types of stuff, and I feel like with all of those resources, we could benefit very well from them.
What's one thing you would say to Black students preparing to attend PWI?
What's one thing you would say to Black students preparing to attend a PWI?
What is one thing you'd say to Black students preparing to attend a PWI? What is one thing that you'd say to Black students preparing to attend a PWI?
If you want to hear Pitbull a lot, come here. And gym class heroes too. If you're sorry for party rocking, come here. And if those are your music interests, definitely come here. If you're really into like that kind of stuff, and maybe you don't like Freddie Gibbs, come here,
Why Freddie Gibbs?
Because people here don't listen to, well, I'm going to make a sweeping statement, but a lot of people here don't listen to music that's not directly accessible to them. They don't think it's like real, or like people like, all the time people act like artists that they just don't hear all the time, like aren't really rappers or like aren't really singers. Like, oh, like she only has this many views, like she's not that good. That's a big thing that happens.
Like they base stuff more off of kind of like popularity and wow.
Yeah, which I'm not the guy who's like, I like everything like that, like people don't like. I'm a niche guy, I'm a contrarian. No, I'm just saying, like, come on guys.
Yeah.
The jig is up.
I say if you come to PWI, be open-minded as possible. And do your best to leave all your biases or, maybe type of prejudice opinions or thoughts you've had or perspectives it's hard to do at first, but if you can halt it and put it to the side for a little while and really open yourself up to opportunities that there are here on campus, you'll find your spot here, and you'll be like, oh, you know, this is actually pretty nice. And for me personally, I've never had, besides one incident, I've never had any sort of issue with any people on campus, racially speaking. So I think that as long as you don't let any other external factors or your prejudgments like affect what you do and how you move here, I think like you should be pretty good, honestly. Of course, but also find a good barber, guys. Okay, all right. If you're going to ISU, go to Uptown Barber Shop right across the street from Wadi. Okay, they do crystalline ups and nice fades, and they'll hook you up. Because you need a good barber away from home, man. You can't be traveling back and forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like important. You're gonna be a minority student here at PWI.
Don't go into a PWI thinking that there's nobody there, because there definitely is. You will find your group. You will find your people if that's what you choose to do. I guess just continue to be yourself. You'll meet people in your classes, and if you go to like the fairs and everything on campus where you see the different clubs, that's definitely, you will find your people. You'll find your people, and to not feel like you're under any pressure just because you don't or can't associate yourself with the other Black people on campus. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, if you desire to be around people that look like you, have the same experience, you be able to have different conversations about the way we live and are. Don't stress yourself.
Yeah.
Don't stress yourself. You'll find your people. Don't make that your main focus going into college. Even though college is to meet people and get to be comfortable, don't make that your main focus, because then I feel like you may try too hard and it may, I don't know. It depends on how other people see it, but don't force it.
Be open to the diversity, be open to the change that you're about to embark on, and if you're used to it, try to support anybody that looks like you in any way that you can, because the transition is not easy. We are entering a stage of life where we're meeting so many different people from so many different backgrounds, and that conflict is inevitable. Disagreements are inevitable, but the thing that people expect from us is from us to cause chaos and havoc. We have to turn that narrative and make it into something that is better. I feel like this being at a PWI is when the African American society and environment needs to stay stronger, because we are a community that are very few. Like you asked me before, how did I feel the environment, African American environment here was, how close-knit was. We're very close-knit, and that's how I think it needs to be for every PWI who has African American